Welcome to the Beauty and the Dad Bod podcast with Chelsea Suarez and Josh Barber. Today we're talking about a bunch of stuff, and we really just touch on our main subject, which is the adpocalypses that happened on YouTube. So stay tuned, it's really awesome. Hey Chelsea, someone said that we have good voices.
Yeah, but also,
right?
wait, hold on.
agree.
All of these balloons have little buttholes. You see them? Look at all these little anuses. All right, sorry. What were you saying about something professional?
By the way, the people who are listening to this podcast cannot see the butthole balloons, but we're sitting in a big pile of balloons, and we're amazing.
I've never felt more at home.
We sound amazing. Here's the secret to good audio, and some people won't be able to have it because good sounding audio is about frequencies. Okay, so when I'm editing this podcast, I have a particular EQ that I use for your voice and for my voice, and they are completely different because every voice has a different frequency. Have you ever gone to a church or a concert and you think that something sounds loud, and that's the only way you can explain it, like it hurts your ears?
Yeah.
It's actually not loud. It's actually a harsh frequency that your ear doesn't like. So if you've ever been to a church with terrible sound, I only know this world because I lived in it, but I get a lot of people complaining at church. Oh, it's loud, it's loud, it's loud. And the decibel reader's at 89, okay? I know this is nerdy, but enjoy my nerd out for a second.
Tell me more.
At churches, generally modern churches, they'll have like a dB reader, so they can monitor it at all levels just in case there's complaints or lawsuits or whatever, right? Because big churches are getting sued for that stuff. And they'll say, look, we're at 90 dBs, right? But if you have a professional audio engineer who's mixing properly, you could be at 110 decibels and it'll sound quieter. It's because the people who don't know what they're doing are not understanding how to take out harsh frequencies in the room. And so that's Nerd with Josh.
Yeah. So that's useless facts you didn't need to know with Joshua Barber.
Well,
tune in next week for facts about bears.
And Florida gators.
I actually do know
Speaking
a
of
lot
which,
about gators.
When I come down in a couple of weeks, Chelsea, can you take me to a place that might possibly have gators? Are you cool with that?
Yeah. I mean, that's super easy. I got a lot of places in mind. Where are you trying to? Are you trying to go to like a theme park type place, or do you?
No. I want to go see one in the wild.
Okay. Okay.
Is that dangerous?
No, we'll be fine. You're with me. Hey, listen.
Like,
when you're in the Florida wilderness or any wilderness, and you're with me, you're safe. Okay.
You got guns? You got guns?
Well, yeah, but my not to pull a Ty Lopez, but my knowledge about it is, yeah, you're good.
Yes, I'm so excited. Okay, so if you didn't know, I'm heading up to see Chelsea in November. First weekend of November, we're going to be doing a video, one of our first ones, because people have been asking for us to do that, and I said, you know what? It's easy for me. Because all I got to do is throw some stash wax on, okay, and pop on. Chelsea's got to go like an hour to get that shit ready.
Okay,
have you ever seen Chelsea? She's amazing.
Thank you.
And I am blown away by how good you are, and I bet you're fast too.
So when it comes to like more artistic stuff, like Halloween stuff, it takes a while just because this is actually really corny, and Tony told me it was really cute the other day. Whenever I'm doing like a Halloween makeup look of like a certain character or something, I'll watch the movie that character is from. So like I did Jessica Rabbit, I watched Who Framed Roger Rabbit while I was doing the makeup, and I don't know, it just helps me like get in the vibe. So that it takes me a while, but I love being able to do that because it like, I don't know. It's just like.
What about how long does it take you to do your day to day? Like I'm heading to Target to pick up, one thing, but I'm gonna come home with 400 things I didn't know I needed. What does that makeup take you?
I mean that's this. So that's just like eyebrows and mascara. So that takes me like 5 minutes. It took me like 5 minutes.
Beautiful.
Not
So
even.
I was just like, I understand the disparage here and the patriarchy of all this, that I can just get up and look as beautiful as I do without anything, without any maintenance whatsoever.
Yeah.
It's glorious. I wash my ass, and then I get up here. And Chelsea's got to do makeup, but I think she's very good at it. So we are going to be bringing you guys video for season 2 of Beauty and the Dad Bod, which is after season 1, right?
Yeah, but that's only if
carry the 7.
That's only if the authorities don't catch you, because you look like you're about to tie someone to the train tracks right now with that mustache.
Here's why I'm doing this.
What's going on?
Because November 1st, I'm going to shave the beard off and leave the stash. It's for Movember.
Okay. Tony is going to do that too. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I did it last year, and I look like I drive a van that says free candy on the side, and I'm contemplating it. I'm asking my fans. I'm going to say, look, guys, it's up to you, and I'll take a poll, and I will honor it, whatever they choose. But my beard is at the perfect level right now that I can shape it, and it's going to take me another 3 or 4 months to get back to this. So anyway, that's a good cold open.
Yeah,
Chelsea.
I feel like we should probably welcome people to the podcast. So. Hello, friends, and welcome to the Beauty and the Dad Bod Pod. Welcome back.
And I just took my Adderall about 30 minutes ago, so that'll be kicking in soon. So the conversation's going to get about 20 times faster than this.
So I'm halfway through my energy drink because, fun fact, I got off of my Adderall. So that's.
I don't take Adderall. I take generic Concerta because it's cheaper.
Well, okay,
but
yeah.
I usually take breaks from it on the weekends.
Yeah.
But I'm actually not going to because it actually helps curb my appetite. And weekends is when I like go crazy because I'm at home.
Yeah.
So I take my meds. And actually, the Concerta, a lot of people don't know this, and sometimes it doesn't do this for people. But I've heard that Adderall and ADD medications often will curb people's creative ability. It actually increases mine like tenfold. Like I become a superhero. So, and I can do many things like cleaning. I can focus. Yeah. I didn't actually start taking medicine for my ADD until I was about 37, 38. So I was undiagnosed until I was about 35.
Damn.
I didn't start taking medicine until I was about 38, and it was a game changer. And I swear to God, if I would have been able to take this type of medicine when I was in college or in high school, I would have had a better than a 60%.
Yeah. No,
easily.
yeah, same. I would have finished college. If I was on it in college.
I would have become a rocket scientist.
Yeah, I would have been a rocket surgeon for sure. But I decided to wean myself off of it just for now, just in case we get a child.
You are with child.
That's
what you're supposed to say biblically.
Just in case that happens. So that has
I
not
hope
happened.
It does.
And so whatever. I usually don't like talking about that, but because people get fucking weird and then they're like, oh, well, you should do this, and have you tried that? And it's like, ma'am, get out of my uterus. I don't need you to talk to me about it, please. Especially with how many miscarriages I've had. Like, I don't need anyone to speak to me about my uterus.
I hear you.
Yeah.
And but can I just give you some advice because I know you're looking for it? Have you tried having sex? It's this thing where you
Wait, that's what I have to do.
You put Netflix on. Yeah, you put Netflix on. Usually Aladdin or some Disney movie is good to watch, or some like something in the background, and you do this thing called intercourse, and intercourse allows for the people to inseminate the other people.
Weird.
That has the uterus.
This entire time we've just been rubbing our butts together, so maybe that's why it's not working.
I thought I did an episode with, and you'll see it's on my channel today, with Jordan McKay, and Jordan was actually it's McKay. I keep getting them mixed up. Was actually dead serious about the fact that some Mormons believe that the belly button is where things happen, and he wasn't joking. He honestly said some people believe that's where this thing goes to get babies. Sir,
I'm sorry. What did? What?
I kid you. Okay, just go watch the episode. But basically, he said they have no extensive sex education for Mormons,
Joshua,
especially conservative Mormons.
How many Mormon women have had a dick shoved in their belly button? I need to know. I have questions.
I don't think it's that far. I think it's like that they believe up until the point where they realize, they think that's where it goes and where that inserts and stuff. And I was like, okay. We also talked about soaking. We talked about jump soaking. We talked about another thing that McKay said. I forget what it was, or Jordan said, which was something about they're like look parties or whatever, where you like basically everybody gets naked and you just stare at each other. Because people in Bible college and Mormon universities, they'll do whatever they can do to avoid the idea of sin, but still get what they want, and they know it's sinful. So it's just stupid. It's the amount of theological explanations they have to jump through and hoops they have to jump through to prove that it's not a sin is mind blowing, and it speaks more about the religion than it does about anything else.
Yeah, and it's like you're not only causing yourself like psychological harm, but then also you're it's just like you and I say it, or I'm pretty sure I've heard you say it before. It's like the like rules of religion. And it's like, listen, I'm not going to murder anyone. I'm going to be nice to people. I'm not going to be a hypocrite. Like all these little things, like I hate to tell them this, but me and Tony both had sex with a good amount of people before we got married and before we met each other. And guess what? We're still going to heaven. We still love Jesus. And that's okay.
Tony is a slut. Tony's a slut.
For me,
but
he
I love
is.
you, Tony.
He is for me.
Yeah, he is. Can I just give a shout out to Tony right now?
Yes.
Hey, Tony. Love you, bro. There.
He doesn't listen to our podcast or watch my videos. So
my wife's the same.
Yeah,
dude.
they
Like,
don't
she
need
doesn't,
to.
Like, they don't care.
No.
I mean, I have like over I just got a tag for congratulations on 400 videos. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's been a year and a half. I did 400 videos. I was like, what? If you don't look back and realize that's a lot of work. That's every video I put up is probably equals about 5 hours of work. Holy shit. Let me get a calculator.
That is a lot.
Not always 5 hours, but roughly. I mean, any video that's over half an hour, yeah, I'd say. That is
weird.
2,000 hours of work. Holy shit.
Wait, bitch.
Imagine I put that into...
You said 400?
Yeah.
I've been on YouTube since 2016 and I've only done 330.
Yeah, but I go 5 days a week.
I don't understand how. Realistically, I need to, because I was looking at my analytics and I was like, damn, I am making a little bit less now, but like I'm posting significantly less. I used to do like 4 videos a week and now I'm doing like only 2 or 3. And I'm like, Chelsea, get it to fucking gather. Like you need to do more videos. I really do.
But you know what? But at the same time, your videos you're a very good researcher. Okay, let's be real though. Your research is far above my research. One of the main comments I get from my haters is that I suck at research and I don't do my research on families. And I'm like, yep, it's kind of the point though. And maybe it's me being lazy, but at the same time, it's me giving you and that's what I kind of do here.
Blind reaction.
You get my first reaction. Exactly. Yeah. It's blind reaction. And I think that's kind of what I do best. Like I'm gifted at just honestly, if I ever had to do a video the second time, it wouldn't be as funny as the first time. It would not be. My first impressions are generally my most honest and my funniest. That's just who I am as a person. That's the ADD.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, Joshua, there's been a lot going on in the world, in our world, in different worlds, in the multiverse of influencers. So there's a couple hot topics. I have like 2. How many do you have?
I got 2.
Oh, cute.
I got 2.
Oh, look at that.
But I bet you one. I bet you one of ours is the same.
Fucking probably. All right.
It's probably Alec Baldwin. Alec Baldwin.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I did want to talk about that. Yeah. So let's go ahead and get into that then. So if y'all do not know, and I actually got asked, someone was like, hey, when y'all talk about someone, can you give like a brief little description of who they are? Because sometimes we don't know who you're talking about. And I was like, well, Google it.
Very good point.
But it is a good point. So I'm just an asshole though. So Alec Baldwin, an actor, he's a silver fox, if you will. He's,
He's hot.
He is hot. He was actually most recently in the Dr. Death series on Peacock, which is very, very good. If you have not watched that, please do. It's crazy good.
Whoa. They did a series on Dr. Death?
They did, and it's very, very good.
Have you heard the podcast on Dr. Death? Oh.
Yeah.
I have not seen the series. I'm going to go to Peacock and use your account to watch it.
I was just going to say, do you want my login?
Yes, I do.
Okay, good. All right, cool. I'll give that to you. So yeah, they he was on the set in where is it? Like Arizona or some shit, like in that one like
some place where the sun bakes the shit.
Well, so there's a few places like around the US where they film everything. A few of the places are right outside of Atlanta. Another one where they do a lot of Westerns is somewhere else in one of these like deserty places, Nevada, I think it is. And then there's obviously like LA and studios and stuff over there. Don't listen to me. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But he was on the set of like a Western style kind of movie, and he shot a prop gun and killed one person who was like on the production side and injured another. And a lot of people are like, well, why was it loaded? It's a prop gun. Why was like it like how does that even work? And let me just put this disclaimer out there. Just because it's a prop gun doesn't mean it's not a real gun. A lot of times it will be a real gun with blanks in it. Now, blanks can still do damage. However, a prop gun doesn't mean a toy gun, doesn't mean a fake gun. If something is a prop, it just means that it is being used on set. So essentially everything on set is a prop. And a lot of time with period pieces, they do use real guns and things like that.
And I find out that's because they want the
genuine recoil and things like that.
Genuine recoil helps for the, obviously, that looks authentic and stuff like that, and we get that. But it was filmed in Santa Fe.
Oh, okay. And like the weight of it and things like that. And if you don't know what recoil is, first of all, Google it. But basically, after you shoot a gun, I'm about to get scientific. The projection of and the force of the bullet coming out of the gun makes the gun go back. If you're watching on Patreon, you can see my hand motions right now. So it goes back on you, and that's when you can see in movies and things like that, or just if you're watching, someone shoot a gun. And yeah, so if someone's really good at shooting, they will be able to like control the recoil and things like that. But if someone's just shooting a gun and it's not moving at all, even a little bit, you're like, okay, that's fake. So
yeah, and CGI can only go so far as far, like a,
yeah.
But what they do is they shoot blanks, and blanks can obviously, like you said, already can be dangerous. But this gun specifically was loaded with a live round, and that was and it's starting to come out now how that happened. It's because they actually do shooting on site, like they practice, what do you call that, range shooting? And they were actually doing that, and I guess some of the bullets got mixed up. The person they handed in the guns on sets in films like that, you can hear things like sparking, which is a term for lighting up, so everybody knows that their eyes, just be careful, big lights are about to be turned on. Or they'll say things like cold gun, which means I'm handing him a cold gun, which means it's not loaded, so don't worry about it.
Or hot gun, which meaning
or hot gun,
it is,
which I don't
loaded.
think why there would ever be a hot gun on a film. Maybe because maybe they were doing target practice, whatever. But so in this case, the blame is being shifted to both of them. In your opinion, Chelsea, since you are a responsible gun owner who owns many guns,
you've seen how many guns
I've
we
seen
own.
your guns. Holy
Tony was
shit.
so excited to show you. It was so cute.
Oh my God, I had a boner.
He didn't realize that because I told him before, I was like, Tony, like Josh is like, he's a dude's dude. Because at first I was like, yeah, he's a retired pastor and he, plays guitar. And Tony was like, oh, great, this loser. And then he meets you and he's like, you got cool shoes on. Want to see my guns?
Yes.
We were in Tony's man cave and I was like, guys, this is great and all, but can both of you shut up? So like, can I have Josh back, please? Like we need to get to work. And Tony was like, yo, okay, that's fine. And then I told him the other day, I was like, all right, when Josh comes down, he's coming when you're off, when you're not working. So, I told him you want him to take you shooting, and he's very excited about that.
Yes, I'm so effing excited, and I hope I'm a crack shot right off the top. I'm so good that people are like, it's amazing how good you are for the first time. I'm shot before, I'm not gonna lie, and I'm a good shoot, and that was years ago, but I'm good.
You're a good shot.
I'm a good shot. Can I tell you my little story real quick? Okay, so I was on. It doesn't matter if you say yes or no, but I was in school in Saskatchewan, which is in the mid of Canada. Saskatchewan is the province that God forgot. Like he's like, whoops, my bad. I didn't put any trees or air or anything in Saskatchewan. Just Google Saskatchewan while I tell you the story, okay? It's like the prairies. The prairies is literally a flat wasteland of flatness and yellow, okay? Anyway, so it was Thanksgiving and we were going up to this place up north. One of the girls that we were hanging out with said we can come up and stay with her for Thanksgiving because we weren't going home because I was poor and I didn't have a home. Like, I'll tell you this story when I tell you my story on my channel when I hit 100,000 subs. But basically, I didn't have anywhere to go. College was where I lived at that point, and I didn't have a home, okay? So this girl invited my buddy and I up because he was from Guam, and he couldn't go home either. So we just went to her house, and it's like good old farm country, like real farms, like thousands of acres of wheat and shit.
And that's where you've seen the most beautiful stars you've ever seen.
And the red, what's it called?
The Aurora Borealis?
Aurora, oh my God, it was the most glorious thing ever. That was the same weekend that this happened. So we went over to this place called Kelfields, and I realized that the girl that we were going to hang out with, her best friend, her last name is Kelly, and her literal family owns or was the founder of this town, which is crazy. So
that's awesome.
Let me just tell you, money. Anyway, her dad said, "You guys want to go shoot guns?" And I'm like, "Hell yeah, I want to go shoot guns." And he had this old not pump action. It's that one that clicks open like the old Western.
Yeah.
I don't know what those are called. And I used to be in Army cadets when I was young, and we used to be able to shoot FNs, just like, and it was really fun. But he had this old iron rooster at the end of and I'm telling you, 3 football fields away. Okay, iron rooster. So it's this huge thick thing that you hit it and it rolls on its thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you hit it and you can see that you hit it. First shot, boom. And like he was impressed. Okay, I'm not just trying to float your boat. He was impressed. He's like, "That's a fluke." Cocked the gun again, boom, hit it again. I don't know why, and I didn't play a ton of video games growing up. I just have the ability to be amazing at shooting.
That's
impressive.
impressive.
I was like, maybe I can be a sniper, but I couldn't kill people, so I wouldn't be able to do that.
Good to know. Good to know.
Yep.
Good.
That's my story. Sorry about that.
Anyways, so you were asking me,
oh right,
who do we think is at fault? And I mean,
who do you think is? Because
So,
I want your opinion.
I mean, some people are like trying to like cancel him and all this stuff, and it's like, guys, do you realize how awful this is for him as well? Like, yes, it's horrible for the person's family. It's worse for the people who died and their loved ones, but it was just negligence. Like, it was a horrible accident that happened, and this is so sad. Like, you really think he would have purposely killed someone in front of a bunch of people? Like, no, what are you doing? It's just,
No.
it's that people are reaching, and of course people on Twitter are fucking crazy, but it's so sad and such an unfortunate incident. And I just really hope that everyone involved is, mentally okay. It's so sad.
Well, here's my take on it. And yes, absolutely an accident. But at the same time, imagine if you hit somebody with your car accidentally and they died. That's manslaughter, right? Or like involuntarily manslaughter. It's like still an accident.
First of all, that would be vehicular manslaughter.
Vehicular manslaughter.
Because you're
still
not
an accident.
meaning. Yeah, it's not, manslaughter is non-intentional.
Yeah.
Murder and homicide is intentional.
I still feel like maybe just change the name from manslaughter. It just sounds worse than murder as far as I'm concerned. The word slaughter, just, I get it. Maybe accidental slaughter, but it's, again, my take is that once there's a gun in your hand, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, that responsibility is yours, and you should never point any weapon, no matter loaded or unloaded, at anybody at all. Ever.
Yes, that as well. And then also it's like, okay, well, were they filming at that time? Like, was this person next to the camera and like he had to point it in this direction? And like, that's kind of where my mind goes. And it's like, what exactly was happening? Like, I need more details. And I think that's important to understand too. But ultimately, whose job was it to clear that? Like, that is someone's job. It's the prop, the prop master, the prop person, right?
Exactly.
So and I hate to say, like, yeah, that's ultimately their fault, but that is their job. So
and so there are multiple people to blame for this, but again, it's just it's a crazy accident as far as I'm concerned. But
so sad.
Live rounds should become nowhere near blank rounds, and that should never be a mistake that happens. And hopefully, this changes everything on sets that use guns.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, that's our take on it for sure. That's a very important topic, and a lot of people want to see Alec Baldwin's head, because Alec Baldwin was a very, very, very left-wing activist in politics. And so now all the right-wingers, the fringers, are like, "Oh, Alec Baldwin, he definitely killed something." Like, they're just using it, and
it's upsetting.
You should never use something. You should never use an accident for a political campaign attack.
Yeah.
It's so stupid. And of course, it's going to be used, and that's the world we live in now, and that's Twitter. I had a thought the other day.
Tell me.
If everybody just effing ignored Twitter and the outrage mob on Twitter, we would all be better off, because so many things happen on outrage Twitter that companies will change things about what they've done or apologize because of Twitter. But if you actually are not on Twitter, like if a company doesn't exist on Twitter and just ignores Twitter outrage, nothing ever would happen to anybody, because Twitter is actually relatively a small minority of people, and the outrage mob on Twitter is pretty small, but they're very loud. But if you don't exist on Twitter, you don't ever have to worry about it.
So let me go ahead and quote the GOAT real quick. So as Dave Chappelle said in his special, He said, yeah, and then they tried to cancel me on Twitter. And everybody started laughing. He goes, you think I fucking care what they say? I don't fucking care about Twitter. That's not a real place.
Exactly.
And it's true. It's extremely important to understand that. But people tend, and understandably, it can be very overwhelming. People tend to fold under the pressure of the mob. So that was your person, and
it's almost a perfect segue into the next hot topic, which is Dave Chappelle. Was that your next topic?
Oh no, that one wasn't. That wasn't one of them. It was actually Shane Dawson. Was that one of yours?
Yeah, I was going to talk. I just don't want to. I briefly want to touch on it because, and I was on Twitter this morning, Outrage Twitter, and a lot of people are saying that the outrage over Dave Chappelle's special, and if you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's
amazing. I loved it.
Most of the people who are pissed off didn't watch it. That's what I'm saying right now. Okay, they did not watch it. They didn't, and it's way different than they're portraying it to be. But a lot of people are saying, and rightly so, on the right, that officially this has reached more outrage than what happened in Afghanistan. I'm not even kidding. Like, Afghanistan was a 2-week news cycle, and this one is going on 3 weeks, pushing more than 4 weeks on the Dave Chappelle making fun of people as a comedian. And that is where we are as a society, and I actually agree that is bullshit.
Yeah.
It's a joke, and that guy that went to the Netflix walkout, look, I tweeted this too. I said, look, you can... I was pissed because that cuties thing got me super angry, and a lot of people were like, cuties is okay. I'm like, no, it's not, and here's why cuties isn't okay. If you have to use underage girls, do shots of their crotch and put them in scenes that are way outside their age group and all that stuff to say that is wrong, you are stupid, is what I'm saying, okay?
We know that's wrong. You don't need to tell us or show us and give us an example of that.
Or just use older actors who look young, which a lot of people do anyway, right? So, and people were saying, "Oh no, I didn't watch it. I'm never going to watch the cuties ever. I know what I need to know based on what I've read about it and everything else." And hundreds of thousands of people are outraged. I didn't see a walkout over cuties, but I see a walkout over Dave Chappelle making fun of LGBT community. Okay, look, if you want to say that, you know, I said this. I didn't see an outrage over that, and I'm kind of pissed about that. And I said, you know, FYI, you can be outraged about both.
Yeah.
Both are wrong if you think that's the case. I don't think that telling jokes is wrong, and I think we really need to protect that. I honestly think that the biggest comedians, and I think this is happening right now, need to stand up and just say, F you, outrage mob, we don't give a shit, and go hard at any joke you want to tell. Bring back the normalization of joking, because honesty comes in forms of satire and joking, and it actually can open up conversations like they're having now about this. You can't, just because you tell a joke doesn't make that thing true.
Yeah.
Right? If anything, it spurs the conversation to say, you know what? If you want to joke about me being a fat bald guy, I'm not going to hate on you.
No.
Right? I'm going to say, you know, you're right. It's funny. I think a lot of people are saying, well, he made fun of Jews, and you don't hear Jews complaining about what
he makes fun of everybody. That's why he's such a well-versed. Well, obviously, his timing and everything like that as well, and his facial expressions, and just his quick wit in general. But that's one of the reasons why he's considered the GOAT, is because he is just so. He makes fun of everyone, and me and Tony actually had like a great conversation when we watched it, because I was in his man cave with him, and we were on Netflix, and I was like, babe, I was like, put that on. I was like, there's been outrage on it, and you know what? I need to watch it all the way through to actually have an opinion on it. And the way he was talking about stuff, and we, you know, me and him were laughing, and we were like, oh my God, he's so, like, some of the stuff he says, he's so right. And like the fact that he was like, you know what? He's like, shit, maybe he's like, maybe if black people, you know, got all oiled up and had glitter, like he's like, we're just out here destroying stuff. Like if he's like that, body oil and booty shorts. Yeah, he's like, shit, like he's like, no wonder, like that would have been much better. But the way he says, the way he respects Stonewall and stuff like that, it made my heart really, really happy. And then he also said, empathy is bisexual, and I just started like fucking hooting and hollering at that time. I was like, yeah, it is. I love it. I think and I want to take a poll maybe on our YouTube channel or in our Patreon or whatever. What do you guys think? Is it okay to joke about anything, right? I mean, within reason. Of course, you want to be careful with certain. No, you don't. No, I'm taking that back. No, you should be able, as a comedian,
to take anything that's going on in the world and create jokes out of it, because laughter, I honestly believe that the fact that we can't make jokes about things is really dangerous. That is a dangerous place to be, not just for free speech. I'm not saying for free speech. I'm just saying as a human being, I attack very tough subjects with a lot of humor because that's how I deal with it.
That's how we process our trauma.
Yeah, exactly. That's how, especially a lot of people. Some people don't. But again, when I talk about real crime and stuff, I get into the jokes. I think it's important.
Yeah.
Those are palate cleansers. But I think if we can't laugh, if you are outraged because you want to be a victim at all times, you are going to be a very sad person for the rest of your life. And the quicker we get over this bullshit that you can't make fun of certain people, the better off we'll all be as a human. Because it's about it's humility, right?
Yeah.
Not humility as in I'm going to humiliate you. It's the fact that if I make a joke about something that I'm observing about something about you, and you're like, oh, you know what? I totally see that. People love humble people who are like, you know what? It's funny. You can shrug it off. Don't let it bother you. And people will give you way more respect than you saying, I'm a victim. And you know what? You said that, I'm going to try to cancel you. Nobody in their right mind agrees with canceling for something stupid like this, right? Nobody, like, except for the people who are out there doing the protests, right? So I'm just saying, the quicker we get over this bullshit, okay, and allow people to process and talk about these things, the way better off we'll be as a human race.
Well, and it's funny because I feel like you can kind of tell the people who, didn't watch it, but who were outraged, because if they watched it, they would realize that they're proving him right, because he talked about the mob culture and Twitter and all this stuff, and he was even saying, he's like, I don't know if he was talking about Daphne, his a good friend of his, and he was like, I don't know if it was her like not being able to handle getting dragged and by her own community, and he's like, I don't know if that's what it was, but he's like basically saying like, I don't want to assume, but I mean, put two and two together, come on. So he just the stuff he was saying was so funny, and like he even said, he's like, yeah, she was laughing like with me when I made all these jokes, and like she made the jokes too, and she was funny as shit, and she was the type of person who was like, and even her family stands behind him. And I just think it's kind of interesting that they are proving his point, the mob mentality of people who want to be, offended. And and people are saying it's not about being offended. It's about, trans people, being killed because they are trans. And it's like, he talked about that. He literally,
they didn't watch it.
Yeah, it's like he literally covered that and was like said like how horrible it is. Like that's why his recipe is like so good, is because it is jokes here and there and the callbacks, and his callbacks are so fucking good. But then it's just that serious conversation, and that's one of the reasons why I love his comedy so much. But I don't know. It's just, it's funny. I mean, he talks about white people. I'm laughing my ass off. He talks about Hispanic people. Too, yeah. Tony's laughing his ass off. He makes fun of, bisexual people, women. I'm still laughing. It's because it's that self-awareness of like, hey, that is like a kind of true like stereotype sometimes, or like, yeah, people do think of the stereotype, or I don't know. It's just it's.
I think the only way to get over this whole cultural place that we're in right now, and hopefully it does happen and doesn't get worse, is that we need to stop rewarding the victimhood hierarchy. We live in this world right now, especially on Twitter, okay, that if the higher up in the victimhood hierarchy you are, okay, the more you can get away with and say. And we just need to stop that. Because we have taught our kids, and some people are still teaching their kids, that the higher up you are on some kind of victimhood like level, the more you can say, or the more you can shut down speech. And I think that's a dangerous place to be.
Yeah.
Let's get over that.
Yeah, I also think it's like, for instance, and a lot of my viewers will remember this. So there was a girl that I was reacting to in a video once, and it took me like a second to realize, oh, like I've reacted to this girl before. And I was like, is this the same person? Pretty sure it's the same person. I was like, did she get new teeth? Pretty sure she got new teeth, because last time I reacted to her, like she had, and maybe I shouldn't have said a snaggle tooth, but she had like crooked teeth. And she did. And like, it's an observation. Like it's okay to not have, absolutely perfect teeth. Who does? Like, it's fine. And it was so strange to me because so many, also let me finish because I did kind of roast her for a minute, but then I was like, oh my God, I was like, now she's got like these, I was like, she got veneers? I was like, because those are pretty big. I was like, those kind of look like dentures. Like those look like the like laugh. And I actually cut out part of it where I was like, I went a little bit harder, and I was like, those look like the chattering, like laughing teeth. Like what's happening here? And I even like was talking to my friend who, is a dentist and a cosmetic dentist and does that. And like, he's so good. He measures them out, and, his work is beautiful. And he goes, oh God. He's like, yeah, those are a lot. And people like got so mad at me, and they're like, you're such a bully, blah, blah. Like, it's disgusting. You took it too far. And my response still is, you know what? I did apologize to her. In DMs, I apologized, or in my comment section, because she commented, and people are like, you need to apologize. I'm like, you know what? No, like, I'm not going to apologize to you. I'm going to apologize to her. And I did. And I wasn't a half-ass apology. And I was like, hey girl, and I worded it, I was very careful with how I worded it. It wasn't, a gaslighty apology. I was like, I'm very sorry for, if anything that I said, and I can tell that it did, because you've said it multiple times. So I'm very sorry that what I said, hurt your feelings, or, made you feel any, type of way at all. I don't want to assume how you felt. And, that's why I didn't share, your name or anything like that. And I blurred out a lot of your face and everything. Oh my God. No, that's impossible to blur out. It's like, because, I didn't want people to come for you and things like that. And, I've always said, do not engage with these people. I can't be accountable. If I say that, I can't be accountable for what someone else does. That's not my responsibility. So I just thought that was very interesting that people for like days were like, oh my God, you're such a bully. You're so rude. And I'm like, y'all didn't get bullied in middle school. Like, y'all did not get.
And it shows.
Yeah. And it clearly fucking shows. Like, calm down. It's literally not that deep. And some people were like, oh, well, what if we say this about you? And I'm like, go for it. It's like,
do it.
I have so many comments that are like, your lips are too big. Look at those sausage lips. I make videos reading those. Like, okay, cool. You don't like my lips. You don't like my, toes, my body, my hair. Great. Fine, that's cool too. It's wonderful.
I can contest to this. Chelsea's got a weird ass toe.
Yeah,
it's just, you don't want to see it. It's gross.
No, it's my 11th toe, and I don't want to talk about it. Could you imagine?
Actually, Chelsea, I do have a weird ass toe. My wife always makes fun of it. She body shames me, but it's the second toe on my left foot next to my big toe. It's about a quarter of the size of the rest of my toes, and it sits above. I don't know if it means that I'm a genius or that I'm going to die young, but it's been a point of contention my whole life. And the fact that I never grew any leg hair. I got made fun of that in school. No leg hair.
I have so many questions, but we'll save that for the bonus episode.
Okay. Yeah, bonus episode coming up.
Good God. We're going to talk about Josh's hairless body. So, yeah, it's just funny because a lot of people were, expecting me to fold right under it. And I never did. And I'll still, I'll still roast people a good bit. And I'm not going to go, I'm not going to be rude and be like, oh my God, this person's fat. This person's hideous. This person's disgusting. They're ugly. That's rude. But if someone's got big ass ears and they look like a car with the doors open coming down the street, I might make a comment about that. But then also I could just be like, who am I to talk? Look at my small ass fucking little hobbit ears I got that are like this big. So I think it's because it's like, I'm going to make fun of myself too. I'll make fun of Tony. Like it's just, I don't know. That's
the difference though, Chelsea. The difference is a lot of times is that some people will throw rocks in glass houses, right? And what we do, especially commentary, people who are self-aware, I think we're pretty, we have strong opinions, but we're also willing to say, you know what, you're right.
Yeah,
I'm not the best in the world.
I'm the fucking worst. I'm so annoying.
So that's the difference, and the difference is that we can be self-aware of that stuff. But it does. I mean, it's almost like maybe it gives you a pass, but not really. But at the same time, it's just like, look, this is who we are. We're calling it, and generally, this is one of the major comments I get, and likely it's what you get too. You always say this thing that I'm thinking. Mm-hmm. I get that comment 100 times a week. I say the thing you're thinking, and it's just what you're thinking. And that's what comedians do as well. I'm not calling myself a comedian, but I say that we got to stop this, and just, if you don't like it, again, you know what to do, people.
Just don't
That's your
watch.
social media currency. It's your social media currency. Every time you watch, you pay me.
Yeah.
You hate me, don't pay me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not, and
But pay me.
there's a difference between just, joking and then just being an asshole.
Yes,
it's not,
there's a big,
and it's not like we're the type of people who are like, you're a disgusting human being, like you're literal garbage, like you disgusting. Oh, I'm sorry, you're mad. That's just my personality. It's like, no, I'm not like that. But like, I don't know, people are fucking weird.
And that's why we're growing though. That I think if we weren't like that, you've got the people on YouTube and stuff that are villains, and that's their persona, and eventually they lose. Trisha Paytas, what's her name? Gabby Hannah. You've got Without a Crystal Ball is one of the ones that's like I've never seen anything like this. Okay, when I first came on the scene with the Micah story, Without a Crystal Ball was covering it, and I was following her, and I had no problem with her. But she has one of the biggest followings of hate I have ever seen on YouTube, and I cover every family vlogger. She has more hate. It's actually mind-blowing because I don't watch her. I can honestly say I've only watched her Micah coverage at the beginning, and everybody told me to stay away from her, but I've never seen anything like that. There's a phenomenon when it comes to Without a Crystal Ball that we've never seen, but that carries over people like Trish Paytas, Gabby Hannah, and all these people who are over there getting, again, you can only be that type of asshole for so long before you're done. We are the type of asshole where I think we have longevity in our assholeness.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like people know that what we're saying has some semblance of truth to it, that we have some idea of being sensitive to a degree, right? We're kind of straight, we're on both sides. So that's why I think those types of people, like Joe Rogan is a perfect example of that. Okay, he sits right in the center. He'll call out bad on both sides, and that's why he is like the GOAT of podcasting.
Yeah.
He is the GOAT, and he has done it properly, and that's kind of where I strive to be.
Well, and it's also the thing of, we're not, bad people, right? And so if you're, I hate the word bully, but if you are really a garbage person and a bully like that, and you really are just a bad person, like for instance, like there's, I draw the line in certain things, and there's certain times when I'll be reacting to a video and I'm like, hey, wait, that's not okay. Like, you're not going to do that. You're not going to say that to this person. Like, I'm going to stick up for people, and I'm going to defend people, even if I don't know them. And if I can see from the outside, like, this person's being attacked and it's not okay. Like, you cannot do that to someone. That's fucked up. I'm not, it's like, whose side are you going to choose? Is it going to be the person who is actually being victimized, even if they might be an asshole sometimes, or if they are, a good person, or are you going to be on the side of, the villain? And it's funny that you bring up Gabby Hannah, because that was my next person. Is she deleted everything just like Nikita Dragon did. If you don't know who Gabby Hannah is, she is a fucking train wreck. She is kind of like an OG YouTube person. She's been on the platform for a while. But what happens with these people is that their audience ages out, I think.
Yep.
And it's all the people who did like story time videos, like, and then they don't know what to do, and now they're just like a personality, and she's like she's the singer or whatever, and it's like, are you, girl, can you stop? But she really has, like, we've just been watching her basically have like manic episodes. It's so, like, I don't even want to say fascinating, because it's troubling to watch. It's so weird. So she deleted everything. She then released, and Here for the Tea put it out, and I'll post it on Instagram on our thing. I did a little carousel last week. People liked that, so you'll be able to refer to that. Oh, it's my anniversary, and I completely forgot to text Tony and tell him happy anniversary.
You son of a bitch. You better text him right now.
So I have my phone on airplane mode, but I just got notification on my computer that he just texted me. and I think he forgot to for a second. Like, we knew it was today, but we just forgot this morning. He said, happy anniversary, babe. I love you. I couldn't imagine my life without you.
Aww.
I know he's
a nice
the
guy.
fucking
Nice
cutest. But yeah, so she posted something, and it was, I guess, like, she said, like, before I leave or something like that. It was titled, and
I saw that.
It's basically her like promoting her new music, and it's like, Gabby, you don't need to say anything. Can you just leave? Can you please just leave?
Just stop.
It's just like Trisha Paytas. Like, Trish, Josh, Trisha Paytas has a new podcast called My Chemical Unbalance or something like that, or Chemical Imbalance.
I think it's over now. She tried it, but she's done with it now already.
I looked and it had already over 50,000 subscribers on it, but I scrolled because I was like, how the fuck? Because I get more views on my videos than she does on that channel typically, and faster. But I scrolled down and that used to be her like mukbang ASMR channel, I guess.
Okay,
but then she just like switched it and rebranded, which is smarter of her to do instead of starting a whole new one. But it was, what is she doing? What is she doing?
She's trying to stay relevant. She's trying to, again, I think that Trisha Paytas is very wealthy from what she created on YouTube, right? But they've lived a life of luxury up to this point. The same with the Ace family. She's going down the route of Ace family.
No, she's only wealthy on
OnlyFans.
So yes, I would say that is the bulk of her income, but she spends money ridiculously, and people say like, yeah, she has a wedding to pay for. And I even commented on one of Here for the Teas things that said that she was like talking about, manifesting and all this stuff. Cause now she's going to that instead of like My Chemical Unbalance. Yeah. And she's like, this is my meditation channel and we're going to talk about, affirmations. And I posted, I was like, she is 3 videos and 1 breakdown away from starting her own MLM. Like, what is she doing? And it's just...
Can we stop? Can we stop? Rich people, please stop doing this. Manifest it. Look what I did. You're fucking rich. So stop it. Please. Yeah, you can manifest anything you want because you can buy it.
Yeah.
Idiot. You make things happen because you have the right people in your... I know a lot of people think that manifestation is correct, and maybe some people have experienced some type of it. Stop it. Please. Stop that bullshit, because it gives so many people hope who just makes it worse for them. Stop rich people saying shit like that.
Yeah.
How about this? Here's how you manifest it. Work hard and get it.
Yeah, and I mean, there's an aspect of manifestation that it's like, if you're the weird thing is that, in my opinion, and again, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Don't listen to me. But not to pull a Joe Rogan, but don't listen to me. But the thing is that how I see it is people use it as a way like self-help and to manipulate others. But then there's the other aspect of it where it's like, no, I'm going to like put this in my mind. I'm going to focus on this. And then, I'm going to work hard at it, and I'm putting it out there and this is what I'm going to do. And it's like, isn't that just prayer? Like I pray every night, and I, thank God for what I have and what she has done for me. And, talk about all that. And then like to God, and then also like ask like, hey, please protect Tony and, give him patience and, happiness and, just all the happy feelings and, and I go down my list, and then like usually I like do me first because I'm a selfish asshole, but I don't know. It's strange. But I really do think she's just, again, trying to get more money, because after the frenemies thing, now that's died out, and now Ethan has another, another even more successful podcast now. It's dumb. She's an idiot.
It's so scary.
I can't stand
these people.
Her.
Influencer culture, it can be really scary. And I think we're coming into a point of it that we all see this. I'm never going to turn into somebody like that. I think Ethan maybe half regrets frenemies, because it was someone so volatile like that. It's like, I like Ethan a lot, actually. I don't really watch a ton of that stuff, but from what I see and the beef between him and Keemstar and like Def Noodles and all that kind of stuff, it's just like, I think Ethan needs to rise above it all and just go on with his own shit. But I guess I also understand the importance of talking about it, because that's what the world we live in.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And again, in somebody like that, we were talking about these people who are on their way out, and you said that it's a good segue because we're at 55 minutes, by the way.
Jesus Christ.
We gotta move on, but here's a good segue. You're talking about YouTubers who died out, their fandoms kind of aged out, except for PewDiePie, who is the #1 top person and has always been on YouTube for the longest time for whatever reason, right?
Yeah.
I think PewDiePie is lucky. I think that I've never really, I swear to God, I've never seen one PewDiePie video in my whole life. Never, but I know who he is.
Yeah, I've seen.
Is he good? Is he funny?
Yeah, I mean, I think he is. And then also, I think it's the hustle as well. I mean, and a lot of other
Yep.
YouTubers respect that about him. I mean, he streams, or he used to. I don't know if he still does. I mean, he put out like a video every day. It's crazy. But that's, I'm assuming you want to get into the like first adpocalypse was.
Yeah.
And I tried to like look up a few things about it, but the problem is that when I was like researching it, that was part of the issue, was the media and these articles coming out that were skewed and were like, yeah, he's doing something like a, you know, like a Hail Hitler, like a Nazi, you know, thing. And it's like, but then I was seeing other things where it was like, okay, but that was a bit where he was like making fun of the person who he was reacting to, who was doing that. And it's just so like confusing. And I was like, and again, along, not to do a callback, but along the same lines of, you can't just report on something off of like I need to see the actual video, right? I need to see everything in its context. I don't want to take two things out of context and then just go off of this, you know, skewed story. That's not, I don't like that. So that's, you know, what happened with the first adpocalypse, apparently, is that
according to YouTube, Wikitubia, first adpocalypse can be traced back to August 2016 after YouTube dramatically shifted their focus towards, quote, family-friendly content, affecting many channels with adult audience and undertones, including Philip DeFranco, Pewdiepie.
Yeah.
And then again talks about PewDiePie and the hate speech thing, which wasn't.
It wasn't.
But it led to UK government, Coca-Cola, Dr. Pepper, Johnson & Johnson, many major brands pulling or pausing their advertisements on YouTube altogether, not just going to family-friendly stuff. And then the Kendall Jenner Pepsi thing that got so much hate, which it should have, because it was ridiculous.
No, it was stupid.
If you don't know about it, she just gave like this cop a Pepsi and world peace ensued because Kendall Jenner. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and it was like,
what's
we're
her
gonna
name?
solve police brutality with a can of Pepsi.
Oh my gosh.
And it's like,
so
Kendall,
stupid.
please stop.
But basically what happens is, and YouTube, if you don't know this, YouTube runs on advertisement dollars, and they make billions and billions and billions of dollars, and then we get a 20% cut of that, those who create on their platform, right? Or 30%, whatever it is. And advertisements like, okay, look, we're getting a bunch of, and this is the hate mob again. This is the people, well, not even necessarily. People are saying, we don't want to be connected with that. YouTube has changed since then because they know that they're not going to make money if they continue to do that. And so that was the first one, and that brought major issues because some of the biggest YouTubers were fighting back and saying, look, we're going to go.
Yeah.
YouTube could have died off after the first one. But then there was a second one that happened, and this is the big one that kind of talks about what I talk about. November 2017, concerns regarding improper kids because the first one led to, okay, we want more family-friendly stuff. Then the family-friendly stuff led to this. In November 2017, concerns regarding improper kids content occurred, causing Mars, Adidas, HP, and Deutsche Bank to pull ads from YouTube. YouTube responded by publishing a blog post and terminating one of the channels publishing this questionable content, Toy Freaks, which had 8.5 million subscribers. In January 2018, YouTube further updated its policies, restricting partners program to channel with more than 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours, which changed the way they monetized. This caused outrage in the community, especially from smaller creators who didn't reach the new requirements. During this time, another incident regarding YouTuber Logan Paul showing a reacting to a corpse in one of his vlogs resurfaced. Now, another thing that happened too was that in the kids' family content, a lot of these parents were oversharing things like kids in the bathtub, kids in diapers, kids swimming, going to the dentist, and Plutos were time stamping in the comments and then taking those timestamps, linking them out to their little boards so that you could go conveniently find these places that these kids are in compromising positions or naked or whatever the case may be. They're saying the third apocalypse. On February 18th, 2019, YouTuber Matt's What It Is, posted a video. This is the big one. Posted a video showing what he referred to as softcore P ring on the site, placing the blame on YouTube's algorithm, and he was right. He told his fan base to report this to companies putting their ads on the site with the hashtag YouTube Wake Up. This was the big one, okay? YouTube's response to controversy was to delete more than 400 channels and suspend comments on tens of millions of videos as the site tried to fix the problem. If you watch that video, it's still on YouTube. It's been re-uploaded a bunch of times. It's the scariest thing you've ever seen, and it should be shown to every family vlogger before they start filming their kids.
Yeah.
It's insane what happened. And the YouTube algorithm kept pushing more and more into kids and everything else because of that. And the algorithm ended up being literally a Pluto algorithm. And YouTube was like, whoops. And then that was what the big apocalypse happened. Much criticism went into Matt's decision to cause public outcry. While some believed he had good intentions, many criticized him for inadvertently starting another apocalypse so soon after the site had finally started to recover from the first one. In particular, the community found Matt's public call to action wrong approach. Well, that's because the community lost money.
Yeah.
In the end, what he did was the most important thing that could have been done on YouTube, and it sparked this whole thing, and we're still talking about today.
Yeah.
And family vloggers are still not learning.
And it's not, I wouldn't say like, oh my gosh, it's his fault that, that this happened and all these, and also I don't think that with this one, it was so much the brands and the advertisers pulling out. It was more so YouTube demonetizing like fucking everything, that. And
well, because the brands were pulling out.
Oh, okay.
They did that to mitigate the disaster, right? They said, okay. So they had the high-level meetings with all the execs and said, okay, here's what we're going to do. Contact us. What they do is they reach out to these big money, Johnson & Johnson, Coca-Cola, all the big ones, and they say, how can we get you back? And if they're like, okay, well, here's what we think. It's all about looking good. It has nothing to do with actually the moral value of anything. It's just about like its optics.
It's a way to combat it because they're like, okay, but look, like, your ads won't show on these videos because these videos aren't being monetized. So that, that's the action that we're taking. So it's fine. You don't have to pull out, which is smart on their part, but also it kind of does screw creators that, maybe aren't even a part of, this and aren't doing kids content. But then also it's so interesting because I think it's just funny that people are like blaming him. And it's like, well, why don't you just not have your kid on the internet? And yeah, there are other people, caught in the crossfire and, who had videos, demonetized a bunch. I mean, there were commentary channels that, don't talk about anything, bad or I don't want to say bad or controversial because yes, we do talk about things that are controversial, but it should still be monetized. Like I'm not showing anything like, anything like criminal or like anything unethical, right? Like we're not doing it. We're reacting to it. It's so crazy. But now I'm happy that I think now advertisers realize that most people don't like watch TV. They watch streaming platforms and that's where they should put their money, which includes YouTube. For instance, Tony, he like does not watch TV. I hardly ever do. I'm watching my streaming platforms. I'm watching YouTube. And that's literally the best, like the best way to advertise to me is, doing a sponsorship with like a creator. That's why I got fucking ExpressVPN because of Danny Gonzalez, because he's always sponsored by them. So it's strange, but one thing that is funny is I think it just shows as well another aspect of this that a lot of people don't realize how ads work, how advertising works with YouTube. Like I had someone say once, oh, wow, you had a Mercedes ad before your video. Like, you're sponsored by them? And I'm like, no.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, like, that's not how that works, ma'am. You think I'd be driving a Jetta if I was sponsored by Mercedes? But people don't understand how, that works sometimes. And then also, you and I talked about this, I think last week it was, just on the phone, but how people will get mad at me because they're like, oh my gosh, you have Beachbody or network marketing coaching ads on your videos, like you're being paid by them. And I'm like, actually no, they are paying YouTube to put their ads out on videos that use certain tags like hashtag network marketing, hashtag multi-level marketing, and I put those tags on my videos so that people who are searching how to grow in network marketing find my videos and hopefully will get out or not join. And I'm not being paid by these people. They pay YouTube, and then YouTube pays me. So no, I'm not.
But,
like I don't.
But
I don't
nobody
have
should. And I get the same thing. I get a lot of Mormon ads on mine, and I get like ads of things. And I make fun of Dyson vacuums because they sponsor all these family vloggers, and I say, go get yourself, the other one, the Shark. And people are like, I got a Dyson ad. I'm like, you know what? Awesome.
Yeah.
And for you as well. Awesome. You know why? Because you are literally disparaging those brands and they're paying you to do it. So that's a double whammy. Double whammy.
Yeah,
and you should be happy about that.
Yeah. Kyle Deichler, whatever the fuck his name is, that douchebag, the CEO of Beachbody, he's literally paying for me to talk shit about him. Like, that's amazing. That's great. I love it.
And I don't think a lot of people realize that, but that's what it is. He's paying Chelsea literally to talk shit about him, and it's a beautiful, it's karma. That's all that is. He's literally taking money out of his pocket and giving it to somebody who calls him out. It's beautiful, it's poetic, and you should love it.
I can't wait until I do my, which I am working on it, so get excited, guys, but my Grant Cardone video, and I'm probably going to have so many of his ads on my videos.
Oh, it's so excited.
Yeah.
But let's get back to this real quick, because we're so over time. But the adpocalypse is an important topic because there's going to be another one. But what pisses me off about the adpocalypse is that I don't think it's a necessary thing. I don't think it should happen. I understand why it happens. But YouTube just went ahead and gave all these family vloggers their comments back because they think they mitigated it. And here's why. Because they changed... Like you said this last week, they changed when I upload my video. There's this whole list of thing I have to select. Hey, is there swearing in it? What kind of swearing?
Yeah.
Is there talk about murder? Is there talk about politics? Is there talk about Black Lives Matter? All this stuff. They have all these new things in there because they're figuring out their algorithm, and they're a little bit more safer. But I don't think that family vloggers who display their children even any of the time, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, if it's in passing, it's different. But if their kids are a subject or in the video at any time, and it's about them or whatever, or like day in the life, and the kids are involved, why would you give the comments back when was the major reason that adpocalypse happened?
Yeah.
Because they know that family vlogging and that type of content makes them bank, and the algorithm hits when you have more comments. But
Yep.
I'm actually partially glad the comments are back, because now you can see these people being called out for who they really are.
Yeah.
And you should see some of the shit. Like Kendall Rich from Our Life is one of my arch nemesis. I hate that.
She's the one
girl.
with like 40 kids that like she's a bad mom.
She's got normal kids, but she's the one that wants to be like the center of attention at all times. I roast her husband Daniel a lot.
Who's the one that she like made her kids sleep on a beanbag in the basement?
Oh, that's Eat Passengers, Ruby Frank. She's disgusting. Okay. Anyway, a lot of them keep their comments off because they realize how bad it's going to be if they leave them on. But again, I just think that family vlogging, I do believe, is actually on its way out. That's going to be, that's waning for sure, just like anything does. And it's going to be interesting to see what's next, right? But I'm sad that they gave them back after just waiting a couple years, and because it just means to me they didn't take it seriously. And it's all about optics and all about just protecting their money. And I can't blame them for that either, because this is a platform, this is a business. It's not moral. That's another argument. Maybe we could put that on our Instagram. Should corporations have moral standing, or should they only be focused on business, or should they do both? And at what cost?
Yeah.
Right? Because they're here to make money, and they do that through creators.
Yeah. It's kind of like the Bo Burnham little bit that he did in Inside, which is, I haven't finished all of it, but it's so good. And yes, I have all of the words or lyric words. God damn it, Chelsea, my brain's broken. I know all the lyrics to all the songs, and I like haven't even finished watching it yet, just because I listened to it on Spotify. It's amazing. But he even said he was like, people like take a stand. It's like, listen, Twix, are you against racism or not? And he's like making he's so funny. He's like roasting it, which is great. But yeah, it's weird. So we'll put that on the YouTube page on like the community tab, and just leave it in the comments below
you guys,
too.
people. Yeah. I really like asking our audience, and a lot of them have really great things to say, and I like it, and that's kind of what we do here. And I can't wait to do this live with you, Chelsea. I know we got to close it up here because
I have to
Patreon.
poop.
Okay, well, you go poop out in a second, but we're going to be doing a live stream when I get to Florida.
Yeah.
I'm bringing the guitar. We're going to be designing the t-shirt for the Patreons who signed up. First 100 get a free t-shirt. And we're going to be making emojis. We're going to have some fun. We're going to do some Ask Us Anythings. It's going to be great, and that's on November 5th.
Yeah.
Right? November 5th. I want you guys to let you know that. And thank you for joining us today. Chelsea usually closes it out, but she has to poop really bad, and then we got to do our Patreon thing.
I can. Yeah, hold on.
Close it.
All right. So thanks for hanging with us today, guys. We really appreciate it. Make sure that you are following us on Twitter, on TikTok, on Instagram. Instagram, I feel like we post more on there. On Twitter, we're on there too. We have a Facebook. Neither of us will ever log into it, but on Instagram, make sure you're sharing. We really appreciate you being so supportive of the podcast, and we love you so much. And to the Patreon members, you are the jam. And if you want to join that, that will be always linked below, and it's in our link tree as well.
You get episodes twice a month that are just yours. And make sure that you leave a 5-star rating, or don't leave one at all, jerks. And leave a comment. We love you guys. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye. If you like this episode, thanks. If you hated it, suck it. But please leave a 5-star rating and tell your friends about it, because that's how we grow. And we want to grow because we love you. See you later.